Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I've got some Planetside 2 gameplay. We're going to be taking a look at the Light Assault class. Now I'm playing as Vanu, also known as the Purple Guys, and these guys have some interesting alien tech built into their sort of technology scheme. And as you can see there, that reload, I sort of recharged the gun with a new energy charge. These things don't fire bullets, they fire like lasers or plasma or something like that. But there is no drop with the bullets on the Vanu, which is kind of cool. So each race has their own little distinctive way of differentiating themselves from the other. Now each of the three factions have Light Assault, and the whole game with Light Assault is Jumpjets. These guys can fly, and as you'll see right here, I'm going to fly up to this little platform, and that little blue bar to the left of my targeter in the center of the screen is my Jumpjet power, and basically, or my fuel rather. So it recharges relatively quickly, but you've only got a limited supply. If you're familiar with Tribes, it's very much the same system as Tribes, except you have a much lower range than you do in Tribes, but you can upgrade your range with certification points. Again, the game is in beta, so nothing is sort of set in stone with how everything works now, but I just upgraded my Jumpjets with cert points, and all of a sudden they don't work anymore. So there's tons of little bugs and stuff in the game. And this is some gameplay before I upgraded my Jumpjets, but supposedly you should be able to actually almost double the power of Jumpjets in the game, so you can really fly through the air once you get up to higher levels. Now in this clip I'm fighting around a capture point. This is where most of the action takes place in the game, is around these capture points, much like other games. For instance, Battlefield has flags that you have to fight around. Planetside has capture points. They work pretty much the same way. You capture them through being close to them via some sort of proximity mechanic. You actually have to be very close to them, and the Light Assault class, although it can cap the flag being right on the flag, it's actually more useful to kind of fly around and get on top of things and keep a lookout or harass the enemy if they're coming in to try and take the flag back. Now, as the name suggests, Light Assault is a lighter class. If you compare it to Heavy Assault, they can take quite a bit more damage than you, but the advantage of the Light Assault is that you can get up into these nasty little areas that nobody's really going to expect to see you. So they get the hit marker, but they're usually looking at ground level for the enemy. You have enough time or the element of surprise to usually drop your opponents before they can even figure out where they're getting shot from. So being sneaky, you know, just getting around the map, staying on top of the roofs. Currently I'm right on top of their main spawn room, so the guys are popping out of the spawn room and I have a good shot at them. And I'm down to my pistol because I'm out of ammo with my primary weapon, and that's something that's really rough with this class, and I almost always run out of ammo with it, is that you can actually stay alive a really long time by staying on top of roofs, being sneaky, taking shots at guys that you know you can kill, and then getting back into cover. It's really fun for that style of gameplay, but you just go through your ammo, and you have so little ammo in this game. Like you have 150 rounds total plus the 30 that start in your gun, compared to most other shooters that give you, like, you know, over 200 rounds to start with. You really just feel very limited with ammo, so you have to save your shots for targets that count. That's one thing that's kind of disappointing about this game currently, is that they just really make you work for getting your ammo, and a lot of people won't fire upon maxes, which are the heavy armored suits, because you want to conserve your ammo. You want to save it for targets that you can kill, and if it takes, you know, 3 whole magazines to take down a max, that's like most of your ammunition right there, so you don't want to do it. Now eventually there will be certification points that are going to allow you to add more magazines to your loadout, but only 2 more magazines, which is almost taking it to the point of like a normal shooter that gives you a serious amount of ammunition for you to take out your opponents. Now if you are actually taking the Light Assault into some team-based gameplay, one really useful thing to use with this class is actually giving it a spawn beacon, because spawn beacons, they sort of emit this big aura that makes them very visible to enemies, easy to track down, and they allow your squad mates to spawn onto the spawn beacon. So you want to put it in an area that's really hard to get to. Well, if you got Jumpjets, you can get up into nasty little areas, or areas that people won't even see, so all of a sudden you plop down a spawn beacon in some little nook on top of a roof somewhere, and the only people that are going to see it are people in the air. So as long as you don't have air vehicles flying overhead, for the most part you can hide away spawn beacons really well with the Light Assault class. Now, as you guys know, I do a lot of weapon reviews and damage and stats and that kind of thing on my channel, and I'm going to, and I would love to get into those for you with Planetside 2. The problem is the game is changing so much right now. Like, there's just been so many stat changes, so many major changes in the way that the game plays out, because this is a true legit beta. Like, they're working on the game, they're working on it hard. Everything is changing, graphics are changing, sounds are changing, weapon balance is changing, vehicles are changing completely in roles. You know, they used to have the Galaxy for a mobile spawn point. They took that away, or they made a really high requirement to get that. Now they made the Sunders, which are a land vehicle mobile spawn point, so that's changed up the game like almost completely in terms of the spawn game. So there's just so much changing in this game that I would love to go through the best weapons possible with the light assault class, but the fact is that one, you can only currently unlock one weapon for the light assault, or rather than unlock, you only have one weapon for the light assault class, and two, those stats are probably not set in stone, so there's no real point in going over it. You can't really compare it to the other guns available because there are no other guns currently available. There are going to be a ton of guns in this game, and it's really hard just kind of waiting by and waiting for them to get unlocked. I believe that Sony is still working on those guns though, you know, so they're obviously not going to give us guns that aren't ready yet. Now, you may have noticed that I've been getting into some of these battles via a little quad bike there, and that's the Flash. Every faction has a Flash available to it. They're pretty cheap. They only cost 50 alloys, which are the yellow resource there, and you sort of see them above my mini map in the lower left. I have like 364 alloys, so they're kind of cheap, and they have a short spawn timer, so you can get them usually whenever you need them to get around the map a little bit faster. Distances in this game are much further than any other first-person shooter, so the downtime between fighting can actually be kind of high. So if you're going solo, make sure you either have a little bit of a cooldown reduction on your flashes, or you just have some way of getting around the map. That's the biggest challenge if you're trying to play this game solo. Again, being able to fly allows you to traverse the terrain much quicker, where other classes might have to go around a canyon. You can fly over the canyon or fly over a rock that's in the way, so you can really get around a lot faster as the light assault. Another reason why I like this class a lot. Now, I would also love to get into all the different equipment and stuff that the light assault can equip, but at this point in the game it's really hard to get a lot of it. In fact, Sony recently just went through with sort of the nerf hammer and made it very hard to unlock a lot of stuff. The certification point requirements is much higher now, so I'd literally have to play for weeks and weeks and weeks just to get some stuff for the light assault, and that's if I was neglecting every other class in the game. But there is stuff like C4 available, smoke grenades, flashbangs. You can upgrade it so it runs faster. You can upgrade it with faster shield capacitor so its armor regens faster. You can increase the amount of grenades that you can carry. You can get different kinds of jump jets, like there's one called the Icarus jump jet that's supposed to be insanely powerful, but the recharge rate is much longer, so you can sort of change like what the light assault is completely capable of. Not to mention you're going to have, you know, a huge amount of weapons to choose from as your primary gun and even your secondary gun, so there's just going to be a lot of options for tweaking this class. I can't wait to actually get into it once the stuff gets unlocked or becomes a little bit easier to get, because right now the cert points are just crazy. Like, I was playing all day today and I got like maybe 20 cert points, and to get just the first level of something like Icarus Jumpjets currently, it's like 250 cert points. So stuff is just kind of crazy right now. It's like it's going to take forever to unlock certain things. Now, I am looking forward to seeing what C4 can do once it becomes a much more commonplace, because having a fast light class that can actually jump jet around, you often end up in places where you have just a really good vantage point on some armor, like an enemy tank is just sitting there, has no clue you're there, so you can get up right next to it and throw some C4 on it, much like things that you do in Battlefield and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what the light assault class can actually do with some anti-armor capabilities. So all in all, the light assault really does seem like it's much more meant for anti-infantry combat. You know, some classes are much better at taking out tanks. The light assault is great at taking out infantry just because you can get to these nasty little vantage points. In a one-on-one firefight down a hall against a heavy assault, you're probably going to lose that fight because you're going up against somebody with more body armor and more ammunition and all this other stuff. So you got to play the class to its advantages, but its advantage is huge because every place in this map has rooftops, tall structures, second levels, third levels, force fields sometimes that block most classes from getting into an area where the light assault can just jump jet over the force fields. So you really do have a lot of cool advantages as this class. You are just very weak and you're not necessarily going to topple any bases on your own. You're really just there to be the fly in the soup of whoever you're fighting. So that's it for my intro video to the light assault. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I plan on getting much more in depth once more things become available to me in the beta. I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.